1, Pretoria 5 and 24, and Vereeniging 2 and 21 degrees. No Lutando Ngeno, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're locked into Marawa Sports Worldwide.
So Argentina kicked off. This is shot at Enzo Fernandez. We hit that well. Rodgers' cross. Gordon coming in. Anthony Gordon. Right place, right time. Argentina rattled. But Messi isn't.
You know, we were ahead 1-0. So I'm so gutted that we then decided to defend a lead. We left Messi completely free for the entire game. And he was dictating everything, wasn't he?
Absolutely gutted is an understatement. I think up until now a great tournament, but bringing on a lot of defenders was, we're asking for it, I'm afraid.
Brilliant ball. What a sight. Sensational save from Pickford.
Some really brave defending back there from England, but they're having to because Argentina are really testing them. They are there.
As he gets into the penalty area. Oh! This one's on target. This one's an absolute beauty. It's 1-1 in Atlanta.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought bringing on defenders and really banking on getting that 1-0 in regular time might have been the wrong choice, but not for me to say, to be honest. I think he's got great ideas. Wouldn't change anything next tournament.
Messi. Oh, and England are in trouble. And maybe through Lautaro Martinez, they're going out to the semi-final stage. It's been header after header after header.
What a missed opportunity. Frustrating, angry, disappointed. The defender in the 6-yard box. It wasn't even the penalty box. It was the 6-yard box at times. You're screaming. We're all screaming. Argentinian, France, Scotland, get out. Argentina are going to score now. They're going to score now.
We're into the 12th added minute. And Argentina, the world champions, are going to the 2026 final.
I spent 5 years of my life in England. I love English football. I have a lot of respect for English football. Obviously, you know I love you all very much. So I'm going to say a couple things now that you're not going to like too much, but they're harsh realities. In this tournament, what would you guys say was your staple game? That's England's performance. That's who we are. You didn't have one. What was the biggest span of moment that the best span of moments, all 30 minutes sustained pressure that you put on another team? None. You don't have any. I think you were very fortunate to get to the semi-final. Very fortunate, by the way, to be in this game as late as you were, because I thought once you went down 1-0, it was clear that Argentina had everything more than you guys.
Champions of the world! Robert Marawa. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
And just like that, it's a goodbye to England. Goodbye to England. It's not coming home. Not today, not tomorrow, not this year. It doesn't look like it's ever going to come home. But one person who has, and I think sometimes we don't really recognize him as much and give him his due credit because he's still with us. He's still pretty much alive and strong and kicking, is about the only person that I know on a personal level that's won a FIFA World Cup. And that is the legendary Terry Payne. We're going to be chatting to him and find out his thoughts a little bit later on in the show. Maybe around about 6:45. We're going to be chatting to Terry Payne. Drikkers' fans, well, you're in for a treat, though. Around about 20 past, we head off to the United States of America. C.S. Du Plessis is going to be on standby for us to tell us about the prospects of what that fight does look like. And also, Moshe Netrugol is going to be our guest shortly to talk about yesterday. I mean, we talked about the craziness of this halftime show that they are planning to have, but there's also a sporting and a footballing reason why this is bad for sports persons. So we'll find out from him that and a whole lot more. We'll take your WhatsApp voice notes right throughout the show. We are interactive. It is #MSW, Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
All right, so this is the World Cup update here on #MSW, powered by Rexona. It won't let you down. Right, so what about the aftermath of what happened last night? Look forward to hearing your thoughts about it. Saying England versus Argentina, when England are leading and they decide to defend. That is a big cause for concern. It's a big cause for concern because you know that Argentina, what they do best is attack. And if you're England and you've just gotten yourself a goal through a very unlikely source, why are you defending? What are you defending for? Are you defending to make sure that you get to the 90th minute and you're still leading by 1-0? And you look at the attacking prowess that Argentina have. You look at the attacking prowess that they're getting off the bench and onto the field. So who are you going to be bossing to try get another goal? Yeah, so those are just some of the things from a coaching perspective that were very baffling to me. I don't know what your take was. I think the entire world, people that love the sport, were watching this game. It was that important. Now we got Spain and Argentina in the final. A lot will be talked about the England manager, Thomas Tuchel. I mean, he says that his side couldn't regain control after Anthony Gordon's opener. He praised England's performance, though, up to the goal, but also admitted, though, that the strike triggered a momentum shift. And I think we all saw that. Argentina playing with greater rhythm and risk, as they should. He said that England struggled to find the duels or maintain possession, allowing Argentina now to seize control and score twice late on. I mean, Enzo Fernandez. If anybody's going to give you a hint that they want to shoot from range, it's him, because it wasn't the first time he had tried to do that. And when he really did it and did it effectively, it was a goal. Lautaro Martinez comes off the bench and immediately, you know, if you follow club football and you know what he does on a weekly basis, for him, that is jam. So 2-1 loss in Atlanta, deny England the first World Cup final since 1966.
I think it was a very close match. I was happy the way we played it. Very close match, like I said, and we had the moment and took it to our advantage, went 1-0 up. I think that's what happens in these kind of matches that are totally even. I think at that point of the match that it was also deserved, not undeserved, that we take our moment and go 1-0 up. Unfortunately and strangely enough, it marked then a complete momentum switch in the game. Argentina played with more risk, played with more rhythm. It was difficult for us. We could not find any duels. We could not find any ball possession anymore. Couldn't get the momentum back at all. And they took advantage of that and won the game.
Well, the coach says that he accepts full responsibility, though, for his decisions in the World Cup semi-final loss to Argentina, acknowledging that criticism is part of the game. He also stressed that no one can know what might have happened with different choices, but as head coach, he stands by them and takes the blame.
I believe that's just the nature of the game. As soon as you lose, you get criticized. It's just what it is. And you get criticized after. No one knows what would have happened if we made different decisions. So it makes no sense to engage in that and lose my head. I'm responsible for them. I took them, so I take the criticism. That's just the way it is.
When the game needs a voice,
Rob for president, that one, no, we are going with it.
It speaks right here on MSW, on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live.
Right, so football has once again reminded us why it is the greatest show on earth. I mean, the World Cup semi-final packed with passion, the intensity, the drama. As you heard now, Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, talk about the battle with Argentina for a place in the biggest match in football. Now, there were tactical masterstrokes. There were also moments of individual brilliance and plenty of talking points that will be debated for years and years to come. But the conversation doesn't end with the football. And as we mentioned yesterday, that bold new territory announcing the blockbuster halftime show for the final at the MetLife Stadium with global superstars including Justin Bieber, Shakira, BTS, Madonna, and Burna Boy, who's set to perform alongside the beloved characters from Sesame Street and the Muppets, you name it. The spectacle sparking fierce debate. I mean, is this a groundbreaking evolution of football's biggest event, or is it just borrowing too heavily from the American sports entertainment? What impact could and this is the important part about the impact of that extended halftime interval have not on the people that want to watch a concert, but I'm talking about the players now, the coaches, the game itself. So we've brought somebody to unpack it all. one of football's sharpest tactical minds, a man who also coached across Europe, Africa, and Asia, and never shies away from giving an honest opinion. And that is why joining us now is the veteran football coach, Mushin Integral, as we review the England-Argentina Classic and also examine that FIFA halftime show. That is the football world talking. So, Coach Mushin Integral, thank you for your time. I know you're busy and traveling. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, Robert. Always great to hear your voice. Good evening to you and to the listeners.
Well, it's great and a pleasure chatting to you, Mushin. Your assessment of that England-Argentina semi-final, did it live up to your expectations?
Obviously, the last 20 minutes for sure. I think the first half time it was very emotional, and it was very expected that this game gonna be very hard in one against one situations. And but the second half, obviously, I understand Thomas very well. He took a decision that maybe that has been criticized left, right, and center at the moment, and they see him as a main culprit. But it was very understandable. After 1-0, I have a different background on it, view on it. I think understandable that after 1-0 leading, the team dropped the ball position of 12%. I looked very quickly into it, and that looked at very actually difficult for them, and they were pushed backwards. So he wanted to get another defender in, actually and these defenders then they went to a back five, and obviously they forget about to stop the crosses coming in, and the crosses came in, and then it was very, very difficult to handle that, the second balls, and the pressure mounted very much deeper. So they went probably too early to go defensively back, but it looked also the first balls was not organized. And then you could see there was he doesn't want to say that, but I think when you analyze that properly, Jude Bellingham was in the defensive line by the corner, and he should have been on the. I'm sure that the defensive organization on this, the coaches are very, very clear on that, and I think you could see from his face he came a little bit too late out to the shot around outside the box, and I think that's Bellingham's. Zonal decision. He came too late, and obviously Thomas will take that for him. The second goal, obviously, you have to close Messi down, and you cannot allow such a player to give those type of crosses. And in the end, a team that, for me, will always come back, has always this, let me say, never dying behavior, because these guys are coming from street in Argentina, and they will never give up. And obviously, you could see that in the end.
Yeah, I mean, very interesting, though, the tactical battles, Coach. I don't know for you, ultimately, which of the tactical battles ultimately decided the outcome of the match?
It was the beginning of England was actually very good. I find that, but it was a mid-block. Both teams were actually analyzing each other very well, and they actually eliminated each other very well. But in the end, obviously, the emotions comes in, the pressure, and the game it was too early. The 1-0 come up too early, and I think the plan B for me, the plan B is always easy to say, but the players are down. They have so much emotions. And obviously they wanted to defend that, because looking into the history of England, is 60 years they never went to the final. So all these elements you need to take in consideration. That it's easy to point fingers to one person and I say that he was tactically completely wrong. Yes, he was in a certain way. He's thinking, we understand. But also, obviously, I think also the players has to come to the party when the tactical measures are not being applied. We all know that we had the same situation with many teams as well. They take the wrong decisions. Sometimes the corners come in, and the defensive line wants to have a certain player away from a certain area and close the certain area what they think going to be a problem, and that actually is opening up another gap.
Coach, I know that because of the limited time, I wanted to ask you about this final, because that's happening on Sunday. That halftime festival and the concert that's going on, what does it do to football players? What does it do to everybody that's involved from a footballing side?
Yeah, it does. It does affect the players. You must see that obviously the whole World Cup is about advertising. I think even the water breaks makes you looking into that. You can see that it drops every time. You have a momentum in the game. This is a momentum game. And the momentum many times has been cancelled. That's the first thing. Second, scientific way, I think it's not more than 15 minutes should be, because in the end you go to the dressing room, and coming back again, you need to warm up completely. So it's again another momentum actually lost. So it's been difficult for the players. It's more, let me say that the surroundings of football was more important than actually the players. And I always feel a bit of the injury that can impact the players. So they need to be in the dressing room, then probably have an activation again. Can they handle it? Sure, they can handle it, but the activation is never that what is expected to be delivered on the field. So you might also see in the second half a little bit less, let me say, intensity.
I mean, is this bound to become a norm, though, as at future FIFA tournaments, or is this just a once-off because, hey, guess what? We are in the United States of America.
I think it was more important to show surroundings, and I just wish that a lot of things are not going to be adopted to the next tournaments. I know that Euro is not going to happen, the next Euro in England. That will be, again, pure football. Well, let's see what FIFA comes up with the World Cup in Spain, Morocco, and Portugal. I don't think so that will be adopted. We will see probably back to the football that we know.
From a coaching perspective now, both the sets of coaches from Spain and also from Argentina, they would know about this 20-minute halftime break, or even 30 minutes, I think it would probably be in the end. What would their main focus be now in trying to keep the players fully tuned into the game? If maybe the one team is down 2-0, they need to focus, keep warm, stay hydrated. What do you do in that 30 minutes now?
Yeah, it is a quite interesting thing. I think they have themselves only never experienced that. So also for them it's a bit, but they have a lot of. I think the question what you're asking me now, I was just went into my mind and say, but you have top capable people. And important is that the information that you give is never past. Is always what you're going to do next. That's always the information of 3, 4, 5 minute maximum, and then obviously what you do after that. So too much information, also the players are going to get, I think, bit watered from the information that you get. So you need to focus on the short elements, the short informations. But in the end, I think they will do activation. There's always rooms on activation areas. And some of the top guys there, they have really good fitness coaches, and they will activate the players again to be injury-free when they come back on the field.
All right, Coach, enjoy the tea and the muffins and the croissants there. And always a great pleasure chatting to you. Enjoy the final. Hopefully I'll get to unpack it all come Monday as we look back at the final and the world will have declared who the winner is. Just quickly, in your opinion, who's going to be lifting that trophy?
Oh, this is very, very difficult. I think never underestimate Argentina. They will come back. But Spain, the way how they're playing, the problem for me, the striking line, they want to keep the ball on the feet. So the Argentinian defense is actually good. When Merino comes in, he finds his gaps. But Spain really, I think, as much as my heart beats for Argentina, but I think my mind says Spain.
All right, to the great Mushin Integral. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, and good evening to the listeners.
Thank you very much, Mushin Integral, joining us right here on #MSW. And that's why I'm saying that if you haven't heard, Shield is now Rexona, a brand that you've trusted for years, is stepping forward with a bold new name. It is pronounced Rexona, simple, strong, and easy to remember. And this new name comes with a fresh new look and advanced body heat technology, so it gets to work every time you move, keeping you feeling confident all day. It is a proud partner, though, of Bafana Bafana, as well as Banyana Banyana. Rexona, it won't let you down. Well, that was the World Cup update here on #MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide, powered by Rexona. It won't let you down.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Hello?
Hello, what's up? This is Rassi. You've won the competition. I'm calling you up to be a box of Coca-Cola.
If Rassi calls you up, you can hang out with Sia, Irvin, and Cheslin at their team photo, sing the anthem with pop legends, and watch the game from the best seats in the house. Buy any Springbok Coke pack, scan the QR code to enter, and you could be a Bok with Coca-Cola. T's and C's apply.
What's hiding beneath a scratch? With Lotto Star scratch card games, your single scratch of a card could reveal a new bank balance, some daily ka-ching, mega cash, and lots more. With payouts of up to 75 million rand, your moment could arrive in seconds. Scratch now at Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star's licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. Winners know when to stop. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
At Pick n Pay, eat like a champion every day. Get Bomb Squad bulk okra wors for only 89 Rand 99 per kilogram. Pick n Pay caramel and vanilla gâteau cake for only 99 Rand 99. And Smart Shoppers get 550 gram clover cheese slices for only 92 Rand 99 each. So, drop into your nearest Pick n Pay every day for more great deals. Valid 13 to 19 July. In-store, online and on Pick n Pay ASAP. T's and C's apply.
Success doesn't wait. It doesn't copy. It doesn't ask permission. It moves. Powered by 125 kilowatts of turbocharged performance, 270 Newton meters of torque, and a 7-speed DCT transmission. Designed with electrically adjustable front seats, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and an 8-speaker Sony sound system. The new Jetour Dashing. Success looks different from 429,900. Get behind the wheel today.
Adulting often means being your own moment maker. With Lancet by your side, of course. The what's for dinner wanderer, the comfort food chooser, the I need something quick but proper rusher. Because after a long day, there's one thing you can count on. A warm, crispy cheese toastie. Golden and melting with creamy Lancewood cottage cheese and cheddar. Obviously. Lancewood, quality time.
You're locked into Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And Argentina, the world champions, are going to the 2026 final.
Tariq Panja is on standby. He is in Atlanta. 39-year-old called Lionel Messi. I mean, he continues to decide the biggest of games. I mean, can England realistically contain him?
Messi gets into the penalty area.
Oh! This one's on target.
Who's got the tougher job here? I mean, is it Mark Gay? Is it Nico O'Reilly?
It's a good question, but then you have to think about the journey that Argentina have had. For all the suffering, on paper, the route they've had to this semi-final has not put them against a kind of top-tier football nation until now, the semi-final.
You can't say they don't deserve it. They do. They do deserve to be back on level terms, and that is some hit from Enzo Fernandez. It's a brilliant strike.
Robert Marawa. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and everyone who is listening to the show. This is Joel from Wattville in Benoni. Rob, if there were some people that were doubting why Messi is called the greatest of all times, and if there are some that didn't really understand what it meant, I think last night they've got all the answers. Now they understand fully why he's called the God. And on Sunday, he's going to prove it again. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Evening, Rob. Gift here. Evening to you as well as all the MSW shareholders. Well, I've got two theories, Rob, but I'd like to break them into four. And please bear with me. They won't take as long as the halftime show in the World Cup final. One, Rob. Isn't it ironic that the song Don't Cry For Me, Argentina was actually originally sung by a British singer? Because, I mean, the British have never been as intensely and as heartbroken as much as the Argentine Footballer Federation. Number two, before last night, it was 21 years since the two teams last met. And that number 21 is very significant because two of Argentina's greatest football players, 40 years apart, both beat England by the very same score margin, which was 2-1. So I dubbed them the hand of God as well as the foot of God last night. And number three, Rob. Now there are three hosts in the World Cup final, but prior to that, it was hosted 3 times before in the North America. And well, you do know what happened. When it was hosted 3 times it was won by a team from South America. Brazil in the 50s. 86 rather was Maradona, and well, Brazil also did it in 1994. And well, number 4, Tarop. When it comes to continental glory, in the modern era of football, only 2 teams have been able to win their Continental Cup and defend it, plus win the World Cup in between. And that is Spain as well as Argentina. So it is not by any mistake that they had to meet in the final. And this means that the 4th theory, Messi will be the only player and Argentina will be the only ones to win it for the 2nd time. That is the World Cup after defending their continental glory. So like the song says by DJ Clock, uMaradona is here next door and uMessi uzobuya ngo4. Hey!
Okay, Gift. You are the gift that keeps on giving. Gift. My goodness, what a historical as well as the mathematical lesson that you've given us there. Everything from Don't Cry For Me Argentina, telling us who masterminded that song, to number 21, 2-1 and 2-1, to also the hand and the foot of God. Yeah, both made by our creator, of course. Spain and Argentina in the modern era meeting, and deservedly so. So, Gift, thank you so much indeed for opening up our brain cells. It's something that the likes of Drickers would love to smash and destroy. But that's why the big countdown is over. South Africa is holding its breath, guys. I mean, the pride of Mzansi. Drickers still knocks. Du Plessis is back under the brightest of lights, though, in mixed martial arts. He's in for another defending and defining chapter. Everybody's talking about this, eh? And standing across him is one of the sport's greatest competitors, the former welterweight king, Kamaru Usman, in a blockbuster middleweight showdown that has got the combat sports world talking and talking and talking, and they have been. If you've been following the social media platforms, believe you me, that's what's happening. I mean, the stare-downs have been intense. The respect between the two has also been unmistakable. Even Drickers, the cowboy hat has become a talking point ahead of the fight in Oklahoma City. But when that octagon door does close, only one man is going to leave with his reputation enhanced. And that's why we decided, only one person can make sense of all of this. And we head off now. We go worldwide to the United States of America. Is one of South Africa's foremost combat sports voices, super sport combat sport reporter, C.S. Du Plessis, who's been on the ground covering every moment leading up to this massive, massive UFC event. C.S., thank you so much for your time. Welcome to MSW.
Rob, it's always good to be on the show and to be chatting about mixed martial arts. And of course, we find ourselves in Oklahoma City, in the slap bang in the middle of the United States. And I think now that sort of the noise around the World Cup in a way has quietened down, the focus is now shifting very much to other sports. And so far, the UFC is now taking center stage because it hasn't been in Oklahoma City for over 10 years. So the locals are buzzing. The combat sports fans are buzzing. And, it's headed to the home of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Paycom Center. So it's a fantastic arena. We're going there, of course, tomorrow for the ceremonial weigh-ins. But at this point in time, all the talk is about Dricus du Plessis, Kamaru Usman doing battle in the UFC, the two former champions, both Africans, although Kamaru is based in the US, is proudly Nigerian. So it's a showdown that many, many people are talking about.
Sure. And we're going to get into the fight and the details shortly. But let me start off on something pretty light because we see it. I mean, he arrived, Dricus now arriving wearing a cowboy hat during the fight week. I mean, what's the story behind that? And is he trying to send a message somewhere?
He's always embraced wherever he's been. And he said the moment he touched down in Oklahoma City 2 weeks ago, he went and found his Stetson hat. It's not just the hat. There's a belt. There's boots. There is the denims. He's gone all out to blend in with the locals. This is apparently his cowboy country. I don't see many cowboys running around, to be honest. But Dricus du Plessis certainly turned up as a cowboy and surprised many people. He did all his media interviews with a hat. He's all over social media. And when he faced off with Kamaru Usman, he was in his boots with his hat on, and he looked enormous for middleweight. He almost dwarfed Kamaru Usman. So that's been a big talking point. But he said he wants to embrace the local lifestyle, the local culture, and show respect to the people of Oklahoma City.
Well, he should have given us a call, though. I had a cowboy hat coming through from the Durban July last week. I would have passed it on gladly to him because I got no use for it now moving forward in my life. Now, CS, despite admitting, though, that they don't particularly like each other, there's also been a noticeable level of mutual respect between Dricus as well as Kamaru. What do you make of the dynamic, though, from your observation?
So one thing that stood out for me yesterday was that Kamaru Usman said he is a money weight fighter. And I know you love your boxing and you followed the sport for a long time. But for me, that signals that someone is purely in it for the money, right? And I know Kamaru Usman has been the welterweight champion. This is only his second fight at middleweight. And when he did fight Hamzat Chimaev, they fought at middleweight, but it was because both of them couldn't make welterweight. So the UFC kind of bumped it up to middleweight. So this is really his first ever fight where he takes on someone who is a legitimate middleweight. The two of them have very much said that there is a lot of respect, but there is an undertone that Kamaru is doing this just to get the paycheck. He's 39 years old. He's looking at a run at the belt, but his trajectory is very different to Dricus. Dricus sitting at 31 years old. He's definitely making a run for the belt. He is smarting after the loss to Chimaev. But the two of them have definitely come out and respected each other's careers because for what they've done for African MMA is unbelievable. Dricus has followed in the footsteps of the likes of Israel Adesanya, Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, but he's now kicking down the door for himself and putting South African MMA on the map. So there is an undertone of immense respect for one another, but Dricus is not looking past Kamaru. So he knows he has to get his ducks in a row to get past the Nigerian nightmare.
Sure. And what do you talk about the issue of the weigh-ins here, CS? And during the face-off, and one could see Dricus appearing visibly bigger than Usman. Could that size advantage play a decisive role, though, once they're inside that octagon?
Absolutely, Rob. There's no doubt, like, Dricus walks around at 105 kgs when he's not cutting weight. He'll come down to... Tonight, he would want to be somewhere in the range of maybe 500 grams to a kilogram away from that goal weight of 84 when he comes on the scales tomorrow morning here in Oklahoma City. But when he rehydrates, he swells up and he's over 90. He is massive for middleweight. And I think Kamaru Usman cannot afford to strike with Dricus du Plessis. Firstly, I think Dricus hits from all different angles, but it will be the wrestling that Kamaru will want to prove. He will want to go after Dricus's wrestling and try and impose himself there. Dricus, though, on the other hand, will welcome that challenge. They've been working tirelessly for 10 months on their wrestling after that defeat to Chimaev. So we'll have to wait and see. But the size is going to be a big thing. If Kamaru ends up on his back and we've got someone like Dricus who's in top control and is imposing his will on him, Kamaru's in for a long night, but at the same time, this is fight sports. Anything can happen.
One question that I'm picking up here from the social media circles, CS, and they're asking me to ask you, saying that, Dricus has been away from competition, as we all know, for quite a few months now. What are you expecting from him, from a physicality perspective and also from a mentality perspective?
His mentality is so calm, so laser focused. The way he navigates media now, how he conducts himself. They've learned so much since he made his UFC debut in 2020. Which is bizarre. It's like 6 years ago. Time flies, right? This is his 11th fight in the UFC. It's crazy to think how far he's come from a mental point of view. But I don't know if you can picture a caged animal that has been stuck somewhere where they are absolutely dying to escape and get back into the wild and again hunt their prey. That is Dricus du Plessis right now.
What a description.
He's a caged animal looking to hunt for prey, and he wants the prey that has the belt at the moment, and that's Sean Strickland. But he has to get past Kamaru Usman first.
Sure. What an apt way of describing that. But having watched both men, during fight week, who has looked more comfortable? Who's looked more confident? I know you've just described Dricus now, just in terms of how he's handling everything, including media. But from a fight perspective, during the fight week, which is so important, especially from a zoning in point of view.
Kamaru is an absolute pro when it comes to doing media interviews. He skirted several questions. He kind of alluded to the fact that he would be happy going back to middleweight to fight Islam Makhachev. He was quite happy being at middleweight to see what happened in that weight division. He is a very good broadcaster. He's got his own YouTube channel and podcast, so very comfortable behind the mic. And he really did exude confidence. So I think it's difficult to read too much into those things. But like I said earlier, he did say he's a money weight fighter. And for me, that means he's purely in it for the money. And I wonder if his desire and heart is going to be there when he faces this caged animal from South Africa on Saturday night here in Oklahoma City. We'll have to wait and see. But Kamaru is a pro. He's been around a long time. He's a future Hall of Famer. He deserves all the respect in the world for what he's achieved. But I just get the feeling that Dricus probably wants this a little bit more just because of where he is in his career.
And if we go along with that narrative, maybe as a final question to you, CS, and if Dricus does win and win convincingly, what does that mean, though, for his future in the UFC middleweight division?
It's a great question. He was quizzed on that yesterday, and it looks like the UFC is trying to put together Sean Strickland against Imavov, which is maybe in December, because Strickland has the injury. He's undergone the rehab, so he's out for a while. Imavov doesn't want to fight Hamzat Chimaev. So it looks like those two are going to fight for the belt. And I have a feeling that should Dricus get past Kamaru Usman, he'll fight the winner of those two. And he will be quite happy to fight Sean Strickland for the third time and claim his belt. But let's see. This is the fight game. Anything can happen. Fights get made. They don't happen. Other fights get made. People step in, win the title. It's the gift that keeps on giving is combat sports.
Well, that's why what you gave to me, CS, and making me love the sport is exactly why you're the best in the business when it comes to UFC. And you break it down so beautifully. It's going to be another crazy morning for us to wake up and watch the fight. But you know what? Because I've gotten used to it now, I will gladly set that alarm clock. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Anytime, my man. You take care. We'll chat soon, yeah?
Thanks so much. That's Supersport Combat Sports reporter CS Du Plessis coming through live from the United States of America, as you heard him say with a twang, from Oklahoma City, my man.
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is available at MTN stores with the world's first built-in privacy display, so your business stays your business. Experience the easiest AI phone ever. Get it now from 1249 per month for 36 months on MTN Yellow Plans Deluxe with data to use whenever you want and minutes to call any network. And get a free magnet wireless battery pack. T's and C's apply. Visit an MTN store. MTN.
Welcome to the Masked Singer South Africa! The Masked Singer South Africa is back, and Mzansi, the mystery, has found a new home. Where are we, Joe? On SABC2. Join me, Mpopops, and our celebrity detectives as we all try guess who is behind the mask.
There's something about the energy,
Because keeping a secret, Mzansi. Hey, manna. Nice try. The new season of the Masked Singer South Africa premieres Saturday, 4th of July at 7 p.m. on SABC2. Proudly sponsored by Andelex.
On Thursdays at Panarotis, sharing is not caring if your sister likes pineapple on her pizza, but you don't. It's not caring if your mom likes vegetarian and you like pepperoni. Luckily, you don't have to share. Get the classic Monsterito Quattro, 4 classic pizza flavors on one massive, almost half a meter wide pizza for only $199.90 every Thursday. Perfect for sharing or not. Panarotis, big on family, big on pizza. T's and C's apply.
Every drive feels like a holiday when you're inside a Suzuki Jimny 5-door. With more space, more freedom, and roads that don't have to be planned. Starting from 439,900. Ready for your next getaway? Book your test drive at suzukiauto.co.za.
Ah, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andelex range of lozenges offers 2 options.
At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual action soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple action pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
Andalex, a proud sponsor of The Masked Singer Season 3.
Save big this winter at Hershey's. Get over 400 unbelievable deals on TVs, appliances, and more at the Hershey's Winter Sale. Purchase a Hisense 100-inch mini LED TV for $44,999 and get a free 55-inch TV free. Or get a Kenwood 7-liter air fryer for only $9.99. These and other amazing deals available in-store online at Hershey's.co.za. Hershey's, we will save you money this winter.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The man who's ever so reliable with this information, I'm towards the Sidube. Maybe let me quickly squeeze in an Emil Witboy. To me and many South Africans, he still remains one of the brightest stars, one of the star players that we see. Maybe we haven't quite seen his true potential yet. What's the latest on his future? I mean, what is Cape Town City demanding? I mean, how much are we talking about here?
Very interesting, because I think must have been in January, I had an interview with Andries Ulderink. Then he was director of football then, and I asked him what their stance was on the boy, and I see this is exactly what they are doing now. He said, look, why don't they hurry to sell him? We obviously believe he's a player destined for Europe, and the right price, should actually be paid for the player. Pirates inquired about him, and they were told he would cost them 20 million rands. 20.
What?
20 million rands.
From which division?
From the Motsepe Foundation Championship. 17-year-old.
Sure, but at that price,
20 million rands.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
You know, if there's a coach that deserves to be fired today, it's Thomas Tuchel. They got a goal from the cross. Instead of adding wingers, decide to defend. You have Boyka Osaka, Noni Mendoeka, Ize, Rashford on the bench. Then you put the defenders. That sub there, that O'Reilly guy, that Man City player, there's no need for that guy. There's no need. That coach deserves to be fired today, right now. What I wish now, I wish Mbappe can score 3 goals against them on the 3rd place so that he can be humiliated and got fired on the Monday. Thanks, Robert.
You know what Thomas Tuchel says, and he said it very publicly. He said that neither he, his team England, nor France want to play in that 3rd place playoff. That's what he has told the authorities. He's gone public with that.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Ukhuluma noSibongelelo Mkhwane. England versus Argentina. Mr. Marawa, I blame the team for getting that goal because they were playing an open game before they score. But when they come back from a halftime break, I think they sit back, which caused a big problem for them because they allowed Argentina to come at them. And once you do that to a team like Argentina, for sure you will get punished. They got a very, very, very good squad when it comes to attacking. And Lionel Messi, Mr. Marawa, what a player. I think he will go down to be one of the great players we ever witness with our eyes. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Hi, Rob. This is Tom Nyati from Edenville. Greetings to you and greetings to MSW shareholders. Rob, I think Thomas Tuchel, it's okay that he took the blame for the defeat, but he went into Hugo Bruce's script of defending. The game was open until they scored. Then he started defending. He made wrong choices, of course, in the substitutions, but credit should be given to Argentina. They fought as a team. Rob, I, for one, I'm a Ronaldo fan, but the GOAT thing, I think I'll just let it rest, man. Lionel Messi showed us another gear, man. Top quality, Rob. Top quality. You can't question that. Argentina are playing like a unit, Rob. Thanks, Rob.
Good evening, Rob. It's Kamza here from Soweto. I still say the state of officiating in this World Cup, it's diabolical. And also you look at the officiating in last night's game between England as well as Argentina. I don't understand why we did not even see a red card, because there's players that should have walked in that game. But anyway, it is what it is. And Rob, I remember we spoke about Abongile Tom not having to officiate at this World Cup, and you said that normally they come in threes. I'm then wondering that if we are seeing female referees officiating in this game, why are we not seeing Akona Makalima forming that trio? Then it becomes Siwela, Akona, as well as Abongile Tom. I don't know. This is just my thinking.
Well, it's great thinking. I know that when the World Cup is done and dusted, we will have Victor Gomes coming into the studio to chat to us about the refereeing aspect of the World Cup, and especially from a South African perspective, because a lot of you have asked the question, I've answered it before, and I think that is why the two gentlemen are back from the World Cup, not having refereed per se, not talking about being a fourth official, but I'm talking about being a referee. And that's how, I think from all of these voice notes you can hear, the dream is certainly over for England. They stood on the brink of a first FIFA World Cup final in 60 years, only to watch it slip away as one man who's a 39-year-old reminded the football world why the genius in him never grows old. Lionel Messi didn't outrun England. Because we know, he doesn't really run much, but when he does, he turns it on. So never mind outrunning England, he outthought them. And with every touch, every moment, every perfectly weighted pass, he dismantled Thomas Tuchel's tactical plan, and also inspiring Argentina to yet another unforgettable comeback. But for England, though, spare a thought, it's another painful chapter in a story that has stretched all the way back to 1966. A nation rich in talent, tradition, as well as expectation, yet unable to lift football's biggest prize again. So why has the wait continued for 6 decades now? 6 decades. Is it a tactical thing, is it a mental thing, or has England simply just failed to seize the biggest moments when it matters most? And that's why joining us now is a man who knows exactly what it takes to conquer the world stage. He was part, ladies and gentlemen, of England's legendary 1966 World Cup winning squad and remains one of the game's most respected voices, England football legend Terry Payne. He joins me to reflect on what happened last night. Terry, sir, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Robert. How are you?
Long
Good
time.
to be talking to you.
Long time no speak, Terry. Where are you hiding yourself?
Well, I'm around.
Where were you hiding under the bed last night watching that?
Well, I certainly, for 55 minutes it was okay, but it was that the last 35 minutes that was a problem, wasn't it? Tactically inept performance from the manager. I have to say that. I couldn't believe the tactics that were imposed on Argentina after it had taken the lead, and then after that it was all one-way traffic. You have to Pickering really made 3 brilliant saves to keep England in the game anyhow, and then to concede 2 at the end. You just felt that was what was going to happen. That was how the game was unfolding. You can't have, you can't sit back on the edge of your own box and expect a Messi not to mess you about, because exactly what he did. Up to then they'd managed to keep him away from the penalty areas, and to a certain extent he wasn't causing that much trouble. Once that last half an hour came along, we tried to camp on the edge of our own box. That's when he came into his form. The man's a genius. One has to remember that. And he doesn't have to run about all over the pitch to be effective, as we saw. And what I loved about him particularly is that everybody thinks he's only got a left foot. Look at the times he went on his right foot and crossed the ball into the danger area. And the Achilles heel, which I believe has been England's problem anyhow, defensively, was really shown up.
Sure, I think you've summed it up beautifully, though, because it wasn't because, again, Terry, that there was no attacking prowess. The logic that everybody's trying to apply is that if you're leading against Argentina with all of the attacking players that were on the field and, of course, on the bench, why then defend? Because it's going to become so much more difficult to defend a 1-goal lead, given the fact now that you've also denied England all the attacking players. There's nobody to push the ball forward to for them to go and score.
You're absolutely right. And when you've got to remember, we took on a manager in Tuchel who said that the reason that England hadn't won any of the big games, the big World Cups and the Europeans, because they weren't brave enough. Well, goodness me. I mean, he's gone back on his word there. He said that the way they would always play that way. And here we are. You know, you've got Harry Kane playing centre half, heading the ball out of the box. We had no pace up front. I mean, we could all, obviously, when you look at the game and look who he never took. I mean, you've got Henderson who's in the squad. If he wanted him in and around the squad, why not make him a member of the staff? Then we could have brought in another player like Palmer or one of the other players that were left out. You know, I mean, it would give us better options. But the main problem, as far as I was concerned, that we capitulated to such an extent that we couldn't get back out because we never had any pace up front. We could have took Harry Kane off and brought, you know, Rogers and or Gordon up front with a bit of pace, you know, and caused them a few problems. We caused them no problems whatsoever for that last half an hour. As I said, it was a capitulation and very poor from my point of view, from Tuchel's point of view, that after being so brave, talking about England being brave in moments like this, that he went the other way and went so defensive, it was embarrassing.
Sure. And I think it's also very great, again, Terry, to be honest about these things, because you wouldn't be surprised that England had just 12% possession after scoring.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the best people there. From there on, you take it to the other team. You don't have to pour everybody. You don't have to go pouring forward and trying to get in beyond the Argentina defence. But you certainly need some quality and some pace and, you know, a little bit of width in your play and get the ball out to them to take on the fullbacks, just to pen them in. They've gone 1-0 down. They're not going to be at their best then. But we went exactly the opposite way, which I honestly can't understand. I mean, that was really, truly, that was amazing the way that we approached that game from there on. It cost us the game. There's no doubt about that. England, 55 minutes, went up against Argentina, who are no pushovers, by the way. They're a serious team. They know how to win. They've got great character as well. I mean, the first half an hour, I thought England did well to sort of, the storm that was coming from Argentina. I mean, they ran their socks off that first half an hour to make sure that England knew they were going to be in a game. And then after they'd done that, England, and weathered that storm, I thought from there off we were fairly comfortable. And then when we got the goal, I thought, here we go, we're going to a cup final. But it wasn't to be. And as we know now, obviously recriminations now are in the press, and I'm one of those as well. And I've been very busy. I mean, I've never been so busy in my life. People, I've been doing the Daily Express, the Daily Mirror.
The Daily Robert has also come in.
I've been busy.
Which is great, though, Terry, because we want to keep you busy, and you still owe me a visit here in studio one of these days. Maybe post the World Cup we can do that, just to look back and celebrate your journey in football, both as a football player and as a commentator / analyst or pundit, whichever one you want to call. So how would you call it? Thomas Tuchel to stay or to go?
Well, he signed a new 3-year contract. The FA, I don't think they would be in a position to change that now. He'll stay. I mean, it comes around quite. I think we got the nation tournament coming up, haven't we? I think England are playing at home. I'm not sure who it's against, but that's going to come around pretty quickly. No, he'll stay. He wasn't my choice. I've got to be honest with you. I prefer, and I know. Listen, football is a world game. I understand that, but I've always believed that to a certain extent. I believe you have a homemade manager for your national team. I'd like an Englishman to manage England. I've been on record to say that, so that's nothing different. But that's how it is. We bring in foreign managers, and they've been successful elsewhere. So, but no, they'll stick with him. I think a new 3-year contract they gave him prior to the World Cup. So that's what will happen.
Sure. Who would you bring in? Which English coach would you say, if Terry Payne had to make an appointment tomorrow, who would it be?
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I'd like to give it Eddie Howe, the manager of Newcastle.
Yeah,
I think he's a very good manager, but he might be a bit too young for that yet. I don't know. But that's the kind of player, kind of manager I'd like to bring into England and let him have a go. But it's not going to be, as I said, they're going to stick with Tuchel for the future anyhow, because I said he signed a new contract.
If I'm not mistaken, Terry, back in your time when you were winning this World Cup in 1966 under the very inflexible rules of the time from FIFA, there were no substitutes permitted, were they?
No, they weren't. I got concussed against Mexico, funny enough. We just played Mexico and beat them, obviously. Yeah, I played against Mexico. We drew 0-0 with Uruguay on the first game. I was a little bit disappointed, but Alf Ramsey, he took us all to Pinewood. We were on the set of Sean Connery, and Yul Brynner and all the stars of the day that were making films there. So that took a little bit of the heat off of the situation after drawing the first game. And I was brought in place of Alan Ball for the second game, and we won 2-0. But in those days, I mean, Alf Ramsey made a rule, talk about sitting back, and defending. He made a rule. There was a line drawn across the pitch. You weren't to retreat behind that rule, behind that line, without confronting the opposition. And exactly what England needed to do. We needed to be another 30 metres up the pitch to confront Argentina. Instead of that, we sat back onto the goalkeeper and allowed them all the space to play in and around us. And as I said, with a magician like Messi, something was due to happen, and exactly what happened. But in our day, we weren't allowed to. You had to go to confront them and tried to break up the rhythm of their play. And that would have been a good ploy, I think, last night.
You still got your World Cup winners medal?
Robert, I sold it.
Come on, Terry, tell me the truth.
I did. We all sold it. I don't think there's many. I don't think there's much about. I don't think many kept them in it. Listen, it took me 11 years to get it, Robert, didn't it? Remember, we never got. Yeah, we never got medals because there was no substitutions. So I played against Mexico concussed. I woke up on the table, on the treatment table after the game. I played all the game and can't remember it. Can't remember the game at all. I got hit in the back of the head, played all the game and woke up on the table. I thought, hello, what's going on here? And there I was.
I remember,
I'm
Terry.
the only player to have played the World Cup without remembering playing. Amazing, eh?
That is crazy business. No, I remember because you had to fly back for a ceremony where they gave you and had to honor your 10 Downing Street. And I know that it would have been strange, though, because how politics and sport merged. And I was watching what was going on in the House of Commons yesterday, and Keir Starmer was saying goodbye. And I'm saying that maybe if he had stayed, maybe England would have had, a better stay and gotten into the final, because now who was going to welcome them at 10 Downing Street if the Prime Minister's gone?
That's absolutely right. It was Gordon Brown in my day, walking up the stairs at number 10. You're quite right. Starmer's gone, another one gone, and another man coming on. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But it was a great opportunity, Robert. That was what's the most disappointing thing about it. If we'd had a go and then got beat and then said, "Oh, you're a bit, too attacking minded," and that cost you, I'd rather lose it that way than the way we did. I mean, that's the disappointing point.
We've got your seat warmed up here, Terry Payne. So anytime, let me know. I'll come through. We'll collect you. Would love to chat to you and celebrate that 1966 FIFA World Cup winner. Terry Payne, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Robert. Night.
Wow. Can you imagine 1966, Terry Payne with his analytical mind giving us a breakdown of what he thought happened and should have happened yesterday and didn't happen maybe for England. I do appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much indeed for giving us that breakdown. All right. They call it extra time. It's got extra time. It's got extra everything. Extra prizes, extra talent, and Bulele stepping into the hot seat. It's got extra you to be listening in. So don't miss that. It's going to be a fun 15 minutes coming up right here on radio. It's hashtag MSW. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. Hashtag MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time. Hashtag MSW.
Plug in, power up, and vibe with Bolele. This is The Frequency on 947.
When you wake up in the morning
and you're shadowed by the darkness of the night. When you wake up in the morning, darling, I'll be by your side. When you get a little lonely and you lose your rhythm, don't give up the fight. When you wake up in the morning, darling, I'll be by your side. I'll be by your side.
From Calvin Harris teaming up with Tom Grennan on this one. It's By Your Side on 947. It's a Thursday. It's time for Heineken Extra Time.
Extra Time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Heineken. Because not every sporting moment ends with the final whistle.
It is a Thursday. As Bulele said, welcome, guys. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the Heineken 0.0 Extra Time. As you know, it's where sport meets lifestyle, the Formula One circuit, as everybody's been talking about. Call it the circuit or the circus, whichever one it is. It's going to be heading to the legendary Spa-Francorchamps this weekend for the Belgian Grand Prix, one of the most iconic and unpredictable races on the calendar. I suppose it's 9 rounds in. Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli leading the Drivers' Championship with 179 points. But George Russell, the big GR, as well as Ferrari's Lewis Hamilton, well, they're closing in pretty fast. And Spa's famous, that weather thing that's happening there at Spa is a problem. It could turn the season on its head, in my opinion. Sunshine in one sector, and it's raining on the other side.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah, it really has the potential to cause a whole lot of chaos. Like, we are really unable to predict as far as the Belgian Grand Prix is concerned.
It will be silly to predict. In fact, it will be so much fun for people to even be part of the show because, as you know, we have a winning show here every Thursday.
Absolutely, man. Are we still supposed to be calling Kimi Antonelli a rookie?
Yeah. Let him finish the season. Then we can
decide.
Then
we can decide.
He becomes one of everybody else.
Okay, that's fair. But look, man, he's been leading the championship and unfortunately lost race just didn't work out for him, hey? And it gave a lot of other guys momentum. It gave a lot of other guys a chance to, slip in there. We saw George Russell definitely gained momentum. We saw Max Verstappen also coming through. And of course, Ferrari is really just holding on so tight with both drivers, Lewis Hamilton as well as Charles Leclerc. So it's looking very unpredictable at this stage as far as who is actually going to take the championship this year.
You mentioned George Russell. I go back to 2021. And when we talked about the weather, I remembered that particular day in 2021 when he won it. It was pouring with rain. So I am not surprised now how Pirelli have gone about this, because they don't know, although the weather says to them, guys, it's going to be between 19 degrees Celsius and 8 degrees Celsius. What happens in between, outside of the mist and everything else, is another story. So Pirelli have decided to bring in, the C2, the C3, and the C4 compounds for the weekend for exactly that same reason.
Yes, and it's quite necessary. And I guess right now, what really is the main focus will be the strategy that they all teams put in place.
Absolutely. I don't know who our listeners are going to be gunning for this weekend, but it's an exciting race. I always look forward to it. And it's such a grand circuit as well.
Yeah.
It might not be Monaco for, the obvious reasons.
Of course.
But it gives just a sense that you want to go to that circuit. It's really world class.
It really does separate the drivers from the rookies at this stage.
What are the rookies saying?
But look, man, leading up to the Belgian Grand Prix, I think there's quite a lot of speculation as far as Max Verstappen is concerned and his future with Red Bull. At the press conference this afternoon, he was actually asked about what his future looks like. And man, he is still mum on whether he is staying with Red Bull or if he might just be jumping ship.
Is there any update you can give us?
No.
And what do you make of the speculation?
Nothing.
And do you have a date in mind?
No, there's nothing to say.
So
from my side.
So full commitment to Red Bull 2020.
I said there's nothing to say. So
okay.
And he'll always be that guy. I think back then, even before Christian Horner left, there was speculation of whether he will remain at Red Bull, and he was still quite mum. He did, sign and renew his contract, but hey, questions are out. People are watching him closely. We want to know.
They are not going to give an answer, Bulele.
Yeah.
That, as a journalist who was trying to press him for an answer, he knows that you can't mid-season. Try and get somebody of that world-class nature, like Max Verstappen, to be now saying, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be back next season. Imagine how that's going to turn the season as well as, the entire Red Bull on its head.
Yeah.
Or even just the racing world on its head. He is not going to give you that answer.
Yeah.
He will maybe kind of entertain it come the end of the season. And then they'll start to talk about that. But there is nobody, whether you're a tennis player, whether you're a footballer, you are not going to midway through a season say something like that.
Let us know.
It is not going to happen.
It's up to us just to keep watching and
keep
a close
speculating.
eye and speculate. Absolutely.
From Belgium to New Jersey, though. Football's biggest stage is about to change forever, guys. FIFA is planning the madness. I don't know. I wanted to ask you all week about the Super Bowl style halftime show for Sunday's World Cup at the MetLife Stadium. Halftime, Bulele, you and I know is 15 minutes.
15, yeah.
Now, FIFA, who decided to give us water breaks, ankle breaks, kneecap breaks, and everything else, have decided to give us now an entire show for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah.
And yet there's a football game that wants to continue after 15 minutes.
100%.
So, I don't know. There's going to be some of your favorites. I know you love a good old Madonna.
Of course.
Of course, Justin Bieber, Shakira, BTS, Burna Boy. Gustavo Dudamel, Coldplay. Hey, I don't know. Who else is there?
Absolute faves. Like these people are the biggest entertainers that you can find in the world, right?
So what are they doing in a football game?
They're entertaining.
We are there for the football.
And we really are there for the football, right? And I guess this is where controversy comes into this because, yes, we are fans of the game. We really are looking forward to seeing what the end result is going to be. But, some entertainment here and there really just does not hurt.
I said it yesterday on the show. I said, guys, we did it on the 10th of June, before the World Cup started on the 11th.
Sure.
At the Orlando Stadium.
Sure.
We said you, Shakira, and everybody else will have a concert there at Orlando. And that was the most beautiful concert. You know, the John Legends of this world were there. You name it, they were there.
Yes.
When the football came through, it was about the football.
Yeah.
So imagine if we had a 30-minute thing, maybe Shabalala wouldn't even have scored that goal.
You know, when we speak about capitalism and we speak about the economy, I think everybody at this point is really just trying to capitalize. They really are just trying to capitalize. I think just this year alone, there were just so many changes made to the FIFA World Cup. There were the water breaks that were, of course, or hydration breaks as they are called, that were incorporated. And now, of course, we're looking at a halftime show with some of our faves there. And it all just looks like a way of capitalizing monetarily. I think for them, the halftime show, they are banking on it, drawing in a new audience. Maybe the audience that just watches football with their partners and not so much
They're
the game.
lying to us. The tickets, Bulele, was sold a long time ago. Regardless of who was going to be in the final, regardless of whether Snoop Dogg was going to come there with his cat or his pigeon, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's about football. You can talk about innovation. Sure, we've had to accept, like you said, the hydration breaks that happen in highly air-conditioned, closed-off, stadia that don't need hydration breaks, but they have them because they can have them, and you can advertise one or two more, I don't know, extra Heinekens, I guess.
I guess, there's a benefit. There's a benefit of it all. But look, you actually had the conversation just earlier on with Mushin Ertugal. Am I saying it right? Ertugal.
Yes, Ertugal.
Okay, and this is what he had to say.
That halftime festival and the concert that's going on, what does it do to football players? What does it do to everybody that's involved from a footballing side?
Yeah, it does. It does affect the players. You must see that obviously the whole World Cup is about advertising. I think even the water breaks makes you looking into that. You can see that it drops every time. You have a momentum in the game. This is a momentum game. And the momentum many times has been cancelled. That's the first thing. Second, scientific way, I think it's not more than 15 minutes should be, because in the end you go to the dressing room and coming back again, you need to warm up completely. So it's again another momentum actually lost. So it's been difficult for the players. It's more, let me say that the surroundings of football was more important than actually the players. And I always feel a bit of the injury that can impact the players. So they need to be in the dressing room, then probably have an activation again. Can they handle it? Sure, they can handle it, but the activation is never that what is expected to be delivered on the field. So you might also see in the second half a little bit less, let me say, intensity. I hope. I just wish that a lot of things are not going to be adopted to the next tournaments. I know that Euro is not going to happen, the next Euro in England. That will be, again, pure football. So we will see probably back to the football that we know.
What a relief. Back to the football that we know. But he's 100% right. I mean, Mushin has been a coach for many, many years. He works within these FIFA study groups, and they look in terms of how future football looks like.
Sure.
And he's saying that this is not what future football looks like at all, because, the player welfare is a real concern, if you look at it that way. Longer inactivity, raising the risk of muscular injuries. And also fans have already voiced their frustration. I think you voiced your happiness about it. FIFA saying that it's about a spectacle. But, like a lot of other people say, it's about revenue, this thing. The World Cup final could now run close to 3 hours. Imagine the game of 90 minutes. Now you're going to be there for 3 hours.
Yeah, no, that's insane. And I think that's one of the things that they actually just didn't consider, the welfare of the players. Ultimately, we still need to make sure that the players are still in good shape.
Yeah.
And it raises the question, what will the players then be doing during this halftime? Are they still doing activities to keep their bodies warm? Are they sitting? What is going to be happening?
Did you guys say that Tom Cruise is going to be there?
Yeah, he will
So
be.
maybe there for the 30 minutes they'll be watching highlights of, Top Gun.
But I guess we'll just have to wait and see on Sunday how all of that unfolds. Hopefully, the game won't be affected that much. And we will enjoy the perks of both the musical entertainment and, of course, the football entertainment on that side.
I doubt I'll be watching that. I'll wait for the game to resume.
No, we have to talk about it most next
No.
Thursday.
No.
And get your thoughts.
Listen, Bulel, I can go on YouTube and go and watch Madonna's old videos. I can go and watch Burna Boy when he was last performing here in South Africa. Well, what else are we going to see?
Yeah, there's
going to be a singing of a national anthem of the United States of America.
Of
They're not in the
course.
final, so why are we singing an anthem of the United States? Yes, it's being hosted there, but why?
But it doesn't bring benefit to the game, but more benefit to people's pockets, I guess, at this stage.
But we also want to hear from you who's listening to the show, right?
Yes, absolutely. Look, man, as always, we never come empty-handed. We've got some goodies that we want to share with you. You already know the vibes, man. So let's get into our trivia. For a case of Heineken 0.0, which driver currently leads the Formula One Championship heading into the Belgian Grand Prix? So one lucky listener that will come through with the right answer will actually celebrate with a case of Heineken 0.0, number one. A case of Heineken Silver, number 2. A case of Heineken plus 4 tickets to Premier Paddle that will be happening in Pretoria. So get those responses in on 066 381 8609.
The game after the game, extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Heineken on 947.
People always talk about all the things they're wrong about. Write it on a piece of paper. Got a feeling I'll see you later. There's something about this. Let's keep it moving. And if it's good, let's just get something cooking. 'Cause I really wanna rock with you. I'm feeling some connection to the things you do. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar. 'Cause you got all eyes on you no matter where you are. You just make me wanna play. Baby, take a look around. Everybody's getting down. Deal with all the problems later. Bad boys on their best behavior. There's something about you. Let's keep it moving. And if it's good, let's just get something cooking. 'Cause I really wanna rock with you. I'm feeling some connection to the things you do. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar. 'Cause you got all eyes on you no matter where you are. You just make me wanna play. I like the way you're moving. I just get into the groove and then you just make me wanna play. If you just put pen to paper. Got that feeling, I'll see you later. Make your move. Can't we get a little closer? You rock it just like you're supposed to. Hey, boy, I ain't got nothing more to say. 'Cause you just make me wanna play. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. Don't know. Gotta be a superstar. All eyes on you. All eyes on you. Just wanna play. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar. 'Cause you got all eyes on you no matter where you are. You just I don't know.
It's music coming your way from Jamelia. What a throwback. On a Thursday, it's Superstar right here on 947.
Extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Heineken. Because not every sporting moment ends with the final whistle.
That's right. Not every sporting moment ends with the final whistle, and we've got some goodies that we want to send your way. Our trivia for this evening is officially on the table. And for a case of Heineken 0.0, we just want to know which driver currently leads the Formula One Championship heading into the Belgian Grand Prix. And if you get this right, you will get to celebrate with a case of Heineken 0.0, a case of Heineken Silver, and a case of Heineken. But that's not all. You'll also get yourself 4 tickets to Premier Paddle that's happening at the end of the month in Pretoria. Woo!
Those are some prizes to get, eh?
Yep.
I know it started like with one case, and now you're showing off here. You're telling us about Heineken 0.0. That case is coming through with another case of Heineken Silver, a case of Heineken Plus. Hey, plus tickets, 4 tickets.
To Premier Paddle.
Oh,
Yep.
What more would you want in life? So, guys, please get cracking because we want to hear from you if you know the answer to that question. Let's also bring it home now because we keep talking about this ever-growing sport, which I am excited about because I think my day is drawing closer and closer to me participating. I mean, from Spa's drama as well as FIFA Spectacle to Pretoria's paddle revolution. So the Premier Paddle Pretoria tournament at the Sunbet Arena, that's going to be happening on the 27th of July to August the 2nd, isn't just about competition. It's about the lifestyle, networking, the culture. To help us unpack all of that, though, we joined here in studio by Aiden Rhodes. Aiden, I was thinking about somebody's birthday today. Please tell us whose birthday it is today. Somebody very important in your world.
It is my second daughter's birthday today, Robert.
I'm probably too young to be listening.
Oh, too young to be listening, and I mean, I'm spending it with you, so I hope you're honored.
Now, we're going to play this back to her many years from now. So Aiden Rhodes is the owner of the Coalition Paddle in Kailami. Welcome to Heineken 0.0 Extra Time, Aiden. You've been watching the football as much as you've been keeping abreast with the paddle, right?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Excited to actually finally meet you in person. I'm a big football fan as well. I've been involved in football pretty much all my life, so I know quite a bit about you.
Ooh,
and so I know I'm sitting here to talk about paddle, but as I said when I walked through the door, to actually come in here and just have a quick little punt about football.
Sure.
Amazing. So
the final, who's going to clinch it? I think I don't want to go back to what's happened, who should have been, who is your favorite, but now we have just 2 teams in the final.
Yeah, well, if I lean on my coaching days, I've always admired the way the Spanish play. So I would love to see the Spanish lift the trophy. They lifted it when they were here in SA, so they've also got a special place in our hearts. So let's see how they do.
Not sure about Ghanaian hearts, but yeah. I mean, we've been saying with Bulele for the past couple of weeks here, and excitedly so, as we focused on paddle, that it's one of the fastest growing sports in South Africa, but also becoming a lifestyle. It's almost where the golfers used to be before, where you strike big deals and you do all of these crazy things with laptops and so on while having coffee and muffins. Tell me more about what's added to that growth.
Yeah, I mean, paddle is that exactly. It's it's the sport that is not too daunting. So it's very attractive. The court looks good. The lights are on. It's colorful, and it's 4 people on a court. So immediately it's a more social racket sport than any other racket sport there is. And that's exactly it. It's high octane. It's short. It's punchy, and there's always talking points about it afterwards. It's fitted into that younger generation culture of like every time after a match there seems to be a photo. Like I don't know when that ever happened. It's like I was trying to think back to like when I was playing 5-a-side football. After every match, could we take a photo?
Instagram. Hey, where was Instagram then?
Exactly. So now you got photos being taken and then it's shared and reshared, and then next thing you know, someone else sees you playing and now they playing because they saw you on Instagram. So I mean that's kind of what I mean by the social side. And it's leaning heavily on coffee culture, and I think that's where the business side comes in, right? So it's play paddle, have a coffee afterwards, and chat business, and that seems to be the way it is at the moment.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people are quite drawn to it, like you have mentioned, right? Even over and above just playing on the court. We've seen paddle gear now has become like a fashion statement of sorts, right? There are paddle playlists that are being put together as well. And paddle-inspired events also coming to the surface, right? How would you say this is influencing the social culture in our country?
Yeah, I think back to what I mentioned earlier and what you just touched on there, like it is a very attractive sport. Like a paddle court is an attractive looking
Yeah.
let's
It's a
call it.
stage. You're almost like
It
a
is a
cool
stage.
kid.
You're right.
Stage.
That's exactly it. And like, and you're seeing paddle courts pop up in iconic places and weird locations, and it's like, it's this pop it up and play type of thing. And the whole fashion side to it as well, and I think that's maybe why it's getting so many or so much attention, because you can be this avid sports enthusiast that's looking for some high octane sports, and you can go and play a game, and you can also be someone that's quite conscious about how you look on the courts and what you wear. And for those people, it's also there, and that's when we touch back onto the cameras and all the rest of it. So you can play it at a very high level and get a good solid workout, or you can just be on the court and want to socialize with friends. Everyone is quite close to you. It's a small court. It's 10 by 20 meters. So in theory, you're within conversation distance of everybody on the court. And, that's for those who also just want to be social and play and be out in the sun and have some fun. So it is definitely influencing social culture in a way. It's actually... I find it quite weird when I walk into a shopping center or somewhere at the moment and I'm wearing the clothes I'm wearing right now, and someone doesn't readily identify that, it's almost like I always expect someone to be like, hey, is that a bull paddle? Was that coalition paddle? Like, it's become a thing now.
Yeah,
it's become a thing.
So it's like drip, proper,
Yes.
paddle drip is the in thing.
Exactly. And and I mean, the clothing's nice as well, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. I think
inspiring us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the time when you are just, not wanting to look too serious, you want to put some sort of athleisure gear on.
Dress down a
and
bit.
the paddle gear is literally giving us that.
Yeah, and like you also you can play and not like be drenched in sweat afterwards.
Yeah.
Like you can have this healthy sweat and still look good while doing it. Yeah.
Well, good enough. As we said, for the gram, it's always going to be there. But we stretch it further though, because I've been seeing so many sports stars, and outside of paddle itself, I've seen rugby superstars at a paddle court. They've been drawn into it. Cricketers, football players, not just in South Africa, but also from a global perspective. I mean, we all going down to Durban over the weekend. Springboks playing against Wales, and a lot of those Sharks boys and also the Springbok guys, they find great pride in actually just going out there and playing paddle, and they talk about it and they put it out there on social media. Is that part of the attraction, though, that is just cutting across not only just the lifestyle part, but also those superstars, World Cup winners that say, guys, for me to take a break from a sporting thing while playing sport, let me go play paddle?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's where the sport is quite unique, because it's still very new. In this country, we're probably in our fourth mainstream year of playing paddle, and it's not too difficult. So now you're taking, these sports personalities, ex-sports personalities, and I mean, above all else, they're competitive, because that's their life. So now you've got this sport that, okay, hang on a second. So you're trying to tell me I can also go play this sport on top of my sport or after my sports and still be very competitive at it? Because it doesn't take a lot to be good and be competitive at it. So I think it scratches that itch that a lot of ex-pros have. And then on top of that, I mean, it is booming. So what does an ex-sportsman also look for? Like, what's life after sport? And that's when the investment side comes in and looking for something. So it is this kind of sport that fits into quite a few little avenues. And I mean, we hosted, at our club, we hosted a ex-footballer to play with a Paddle Pro event there. And we had Mark Fish and Sean Bartlett and all those guys there. And they came a few days before the event to practice on the courts, so that come the event, they put their best foot forward. So yeah, exactly. So I mean, we had this situation where all of a sudden these bookings were popping in. I'm like, hang on, I'm only expecting Sean here in like 3 days' time. But no, he's coming to practice so that he can show all his ex-buddies how it's done.
And how good he is.
And how good he is.
Because of the perfectionist, like you were saying early on.
Exactly. And there we thought all the paddle pros on the court were going to be competitive. No. It was the footballers. It was the footballers, yeah.
Let's talk about then the partnership that Paddle has now with Heineken 0.0, right? Why would you say this is such a perfect partnership?
Well, I mean, for some of the things we touched on already, let's also talk South Africans. South Africans and sport and a beverage. I mean, we love it, right?
Yep.
So now you've also got people playing, and they're also trying to be healthy at the same time, and they're out there, but they also still want to have a beverage. And I think that's where, something like a Heineken 0.0 pops in. It's got a premium feel to it.
Yeah.
And paddle does, whether we like it or not, paddle also has that premium feel to it. We just spoke earlier, all the glass and the colors of the courts and everything. So, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. You can get this calorie conscious drink afterwards.
Yeah.
And what do you just do? You just burn 700 calories. So you might not want to throw down some normal beers. So
what is it? Is it cardio? Is it conversation? Is it what?
I think it's all of the above. Is it possible to be all of the above?
Absolutely, definitely.
I mean, yeah, it's so. I mean, like as of last night, I commentate on this local league, and like that's where all like SA's best are playing. So, coming from that, and you're watching them all compete for the top prize, and they all very serious about it. And then I go back to my club this morning, and there's exactly that. There's a bunch of local players that are just having their weekly game, and so it just fits all these cool molds, and it's great to see so many different levels playing the game. And I think that's one of the big attractions. You can just pick it up and play, or you can pursue it professionally. It's catering to all needs.
I think what Aiden's done there is kind of throw in a little bit of a hint. I've never heard paddle commentary at all. So I think what he's just done is dangle the carrot to say and say, listen, Aiden, please just give us a 30-second commentary of Bulele playing Robert and Bulele wins, so that we can get a sense of what that sounds like.
There we go.
Okay, let's go.
Should we go?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so just paint that scenario for me again.
So this is Bulele playing against myself. I know it's a doubles thing.
Okay.
But she ends up on the winning side.
All right.
Yeah. So now the commentary begins as we get to those crucial points.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we at the business end of the set, 6-all. We got Bulele to serve, Robert to receive. It's a big point, golden point. Great serve by Bulele. Oh, and Robert Marawa. Oh my goodness, he's gone down the line all evening, but he's playing straight to Bulele's partner, and her partner's just been smashing that ball back and forward. And my co-commentator sitting next to me, we've been saying all night, please go cross-court, Robert, do it. And big points, he's done the same thing. And unfortunately, that's the end. Bulele, how do you feel?
I'd like to thank my mom for the inspiration behind the paddle. I'm so glad that I walked away a winner, and I really look forward to the next Premier Paddle.
Well, I couldn't let Robert win in his own studio. Surely not.
That's why I was man enough, and I said Bulele will win. It's a crucial and critical stage of the game. Well, I mean, that was well done.
No, absolutely well done.
Right. Now we know what it sounds like. Hey?
Yeah, 100%.
And your winning speech. Female player of
the century.
Yes, she's right here, about to get a sponsorship deal signed in the presence of Aiden and myself.
There we go. I mean, listen, Premier Paddle at the end of the month might be looking for co-commentators. Robert, should we give it a go?
Yeah, Bulele will be great. Not only just winning, but commentating. Why not?
Look, Aiden, just before we wrap up our conversation, I think if there's one thing that, we have seen about the sport that is paddle, it's grown from niche to mainstream, right? What would you say the future of the sport actually looks like?
Well, I mean, to start off, because it's still so new, I don't think the regular citizen will recognize the occasion that's coming at the end of the month. For us to host a P1 paddle event, Premier Paddle event in this country is absolutely massive. It's a benchmark showing, the rest of the world that South Africa is firmly on the map. And, it is being floated at the moment, the local paddle industry, by your casual player. And I think it's now to take that start, to take that foundation laid and kind of dig a little bit deeper and start laying some proper solid foundations, get a lot more youth systems going. And, a lot of venues are up and running and doing their thing, but the youth is happening in pockets. And we all know that's where the sport is either going to sort of succeed or fail. So to break down those barriers of entry for the youth to get involved, it is quite an expensive sport if we do think about it. So to try and just get that accessibility going, that will hopefully future-proof the sport, because we need that to hang on to the license for sure.
Sure. And that's why people are hanging on for dear life to try and see if they're going to be winning tonight. Hey, they've been hanging on.
They really have been hanging on. We've actually got someone on the line. So the question for tonight was, which driver currently leads the Formula One Championship heading into the Belgian Grand Prix? If you get this answer right, you are going to get a chance to celebrate with Heineken 00, a case of Heineken Silver and a case of Heineken, plus 4 tickets to the Premier Paddle event that will be taking place at the end of the month. And on the line, I've got Albert. Albert, how are you doing?
I'm well, and you guys?
Fantastic, brother. So what's the answer to our trivia for tonight?
Okay, so his full name is Andrea Kimi Antonello.
Say that again?
Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
What's his name again?
Albert.
It's Kimi Antonello.
No. I heard that. I was just saying that it's either the flu, or you got a very sexy voice, or maybe you're just thirsty, and you can't wait for us to say that you are pronounced the winner of all of those cases that we announced early on. Are you ready to have a sip or two with your friends?
For sure.
Congratulations, Albert.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Albert. Enjoy the race, man.
Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful evening, further, man.
Appreciate it. I think his throat will open up quite easily.
Easier once
his head
gets a sip of that Heineken. Man, listen, man. Paddle courts are fast becoming the new boardrooms and coffee shops, just as we've heard in our conversation with Aiden. And deals are, of course, being made on the court as well, but not just deals. Friendships are also being made on the court and being built. Collaborations are being sparked as well, all while playing doubles. And this is why we love the sport so much. And this is why paddle is the fastest growing sport in the world. All right. So the Premier Paddle Tournament is more than competition. It's actually a networking hub, and it's an event that you want to see yourself at the end of this month. Right, Rob?
And of course, Heineken 0.0 fits exactly into that. It's a perfect fit. It's a drink that keeps the conversations flowing after the match. You heard from Albert there. He's going to be enjoying it, whether you are there for the cardio. Aiden broke that down and said, guys, relax. Whether you're there for the tea or for both, it all works out perfectly. So, hey, before you paddle, that's going to be what? A weekly insider tip. I think people need that. They've been whispering to us. And here's one thing that you wish someone told you before the first game. Kind of the court is a friendly suggestion. Yeah. I mean, you're allowed to run off the court, to hit the ball back in. Isn't that something? The beauty about paddle is that it sparks that level of conversation.
Absolutely. Just in closing, Aiden, we were going to let you go. We're all just going to, exit and get into our Thursday evening. But what would you say was the best conversation you actually had on a paddle court?
Wow. That's a tough one because there's been quite a few. There's definitely been a few. Best conversation I had on a paddle court was when I had the conversation about how I needed to make this firmly part of my life. And as I said earlier, I was deeply involved in football and it's still very dear to me. But at some point there was this clicking moment, and it was with a very good friend of mine who actually introduced me to the sport. And I remember saying to him, like, listen, man, like this is the vision. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open a club and I'm going to go out there and do it. And kind of that was the first moment I put it out into the universe, if we can call it that. So there's been many, and forgive me if I didn't choose the right one for all those conversations I have had, but that one is very close to me, and the friend knows who he is. So
tell us who he is. Don't be shy.
Well, I want to, but I'm still angry with him for the fact that he left the country to go and live somewhere else.
Man.
And he's also a big football fan. So Andreas, if you're there, good evening, man.
Is it the Andreas? I think I might know Andreas.
You probably do.
Andreas, with a very difficult surname.
Yes, Andreas Kosciaris. There we go.
Yeah,
I mean, what a small world. What a small world.
I last left him in Cape Town, so now he's gone.
Now he's gone. But and at least you also know I wasn't lying about the fact that I was involved in football. So there we go.
Trust me. When you walked in, you looked exactly like Thomas Muller.
Well, that's the first time I've heard that one.
Man, just like that. This is how we're going to wrap it up. Look, man, I think if there's one thing that has become quite prevalent as far as paddle is concerned is that the right conversation can take you really far. So just like Aiden has said, the one that he put something out into the universe, and today it's actually become a reality. So when you are playing that sport, make sure you do the right thing, and also grab yourself a Heineken Zero because it fits perfectly into all of that. It's the drink that keeps conversation flowing after the match. So whether you're there for the cardio, the tea, or both, you'll definitely have a good time.
Yeah. So a big thanks to you, Aiden, for coming through. Aiden Rhodes, who is the owner of the Coalition Paddle in Kailami. Aiden, everything of the best. We look forward to visiting you one of these days, eh?
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. That was a blast. Thank you.
We had so much fun today, eh?
Had some absolute fun,
from
man.
Spa's unpredictable drama, though, to FIFA's halftime spectacle, we've spoken about it earlier, to Pretoria's paddle lifestyle revolution. I can safely tell you that sport is proving once again that it's about connection, the culture, the community. And with Heineken 0.0, the game doesn't end at the final whistle. Or does it? No.
Not at all.
Never been, eh?
Never.
Especially on a Thursday on Extra Time with Heineken 0.0.
Your weekly sporting debrief, powered by Heineken. Extra Time with Robert Marawa and Bulele on 947.